Hey, how you doing, everybody? Steve the Baxman Baxley. Sorry for the lateness, but the celebration began, and we congratulate the Atlanta Braves for pulling off what we like to consider revenge. Yep, they won the World Series, and baseball had to salute the Atlanta Braves. For those of you that didn't realize, baseball took the All Star game from Atlanta to the beautiful city of Denver. So, needle pulling thread, we will be doing a truncated edition. That means whatever we start, which is at 1:47, we're going to end about 30 to 45 minutes. But let's do this right here, right now. Let's go to all the moves from the NFL. It's the trade. Excuse me, folks. I'll be back in a moment. Somebody needs a little assistance. Okay, coming. Be right back, folks. Okay, we have fixed the problem. At least we hope. And I gotta get a new chair. One that I don't have to worry about the cord. Oh boy. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Let's get started. First of all, a belated happy birthday to Lorena Creole. One of my YouTube neighbors does a great list of shows, including Toxic Femininity with the lovely and enchanting Miss Nina Infinity, and the equally beautiful and charming Miss Mandy Summers, and Iris, and sometimes as well. It's 4 ladies, sometimes 3, sometimes 5. It's a good show. It's on Monday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. You can catch it on the Midnight Edge channel. And, of course, she does some other good stuff. She's got her own channel. Today, yesterday was her birthday, so Dieu la Reina Creole. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, La Reina Creole. Oh, 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 I'm all shook up. Oh, happy birthday to you. Wow. Okay. Und here we go to the report. The trading deadline was Tuesday, and almost every decision maker in the league was on the horn trying to wheel, deal, and schmeal to either save their season or enhance their chances at a playoff bid or the Super Bowl. So, what happened? What happened? We're going to tell you what happened. The biggest trade happened. Oy, did the biggest trade happen? Do we have the entire list of people that went? Or are we just sitting here yammering our yards? I guess we yammer our yards here. There we go. Thank you very much. Let's see who got what, where, and why. Of course, we all know. That's right. We all know these things. Why? Why not? Let's get you to the trades and all that little stinking little nutbaggers. Okay, let's go to it. Somewhere around here, we do have the trade listing here. Okay, by the way, before we do the trades, we got to tell you that unfortunately, the Raiders, they had a little problem. Yes, the Raiders had a little problem. Wide receiver Henry Ruggs III has been arrested and booked on a charge of DUI, resulting in the death of another person following his involvement in a traffic collision at approximately 3:39 a.m., that's Pacific time, Tuesday in Vegas, according to police. Late Tuesday night, the Vegas Raiders released him. The Vegas Metropolitan Police Department announced Tuesday the officers responded to a traffic collision involving a Chevrolet Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. Responding officers located the Toyota RAV4 on fire, and fire department personnel located a deceased victim inside the Toyota, according to authorities. In a press release Tuesday afternoon, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police announced the deceased victim was a 23-year-old woman. Pending notification, her name has not been released. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department identified the driver of the Chevrolet as Ruggs, who remained on the scene and showed signs of impairment. The 22-year-old Ruggs and 22-year-old female passenger, who I will not name out of respect or just out of, respect. And by that, I mean, she'll be named. Why should I name her? They were transported to a local hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Per police, Ruggs was booked at 2:11 p.m. Pacific into Clark County Detention Center. In addition to the charge of DUI, resulting in the passage of another person. Ruggs also faces a charge of reckless driving. Any possible bail will not be determined until Ruggs sees a judge. Ruggs' attorney, David Z. Chesnoff, and Richard Schoenfeld released the following statement. Quote, on behalf of our client, Henry Ruggs III, we are conducting our own investigation as of this writing and ask everyone to reserve judgment until all the facts are gathered, end quote. The NFL released the following statement. Quote, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the victim of this horrific tragedy. We will continue to gather facts and monitor the matter under our policies, but our thoughts this time are with those impacted by this devastating incident. The Raiders released a statement Tuesday prior to announcing Ruggs' release. Quote, the Raiders are aware of an accident involving Henry Ruggs III that occurred this morning in Vegas. We are devastated by the loss of life, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victim's family. We are in the process of gathering information and will have no further comment at this time. End quote. Ruggs was selected 12th overall in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Raiders. In his second season with the team, he totaled 24 receptions for 469 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay, wow. Let's see the trade deadline. There should be some trades to talk about, There's got to be some trades to talk about. Of course, Von Miller going from the Broncos of Denver to the already jam-packed with playoff joy LA Rams. But let's get to it. By the way, Texan quarterback Deshaun Watson stayed put. Let's see. Business started to pick up toward the end of September when the Panthers and Jags got together on a deal that sent cornerback C.J. Henderson to Carolina. The Panthers weren't done at corner either. A little over a week later, they acquired Stephon Gilmore from the Patriots. The moves by Carolina were at least in part necessitated by an injury, as trades often are. The Panthers lost their 2021 first-round pick, cornerback J.C. Horn, to a hand injury in September. Another one of the biggest deals was also set in motion by an injury. The Cardinals lost tight end Max Williams for the season October 10th against 49ers. Within the week, they had made a deal to get Zach Ertz from Philly. And let's go to all the deals and all the trades and everything else, shall we? Dan Brown to the Chiefs, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif to the Jets, Charles Omenihu to the 49ers, Melvin Ingram to the Chiefs. Of course, as we mentioned, Von Miller to the Rams. Mark Ingram went to the Saints, Joe Flacco to the Jets. Oh, boy. That's going to be fun. Kenny Young to the Broncos, Zach Ertz to the Cards, Stephon Gilmore to the Panthers, C.J. Henderson to the Panthers. Cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr., the Eagles got him from the Broncos for a 2022 sixth-round pick. Vincent is seventh-round pick out of LSU. Hasn't played yet this season. Opted out of LSU in 2020. Odell Beckham Jr. was a big old discuss with the Browns and the Saints. For now, Odell Beckham Jr. remains a Cleveland Brown despite him not wanting to be there. Oh, come on. There were discussions, as one person within the organization would say. Odell going to the Saints, but both sides couldn't agree on a workable deal given how much Odell Beckham Jr. is owed the rest of the year, a boatload of money. Plus, there's still optimism in the Browns building that OBJ can be a big part of their second-half push. Jets traded for former Chiefs guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. They sent Dan Brown, the tight end, to the Chiefs. Seahawks defensive lineman L.J. Collier is not expected to be moved by the deadline. Seattle isn't shopping a former first-round pick. Still, they see value in the player despite streak of game day inactives. The Dolphins will not trade for Texan quarterback Deshaun Watson. Miami Dolphins did their due diligence and had conversations with the Texans. but they will not make a trade for the quarterback before Tuesday's NFL trade deadline, a source told ESPN's NFL god Adam Schefter. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, who had contingencies that need to be met for any deal, made the final decision to not move forward, according to the source. Evan Ingram hasn't been moved yet. Let's see. Packers released linebacker Jalen Smith. And the Texans, they made a trade. They traded Charles Omenihu to San Francisco 49ers. Texans traded, but they haven't said who they got back or who they got in return. But there you go, the NFL's beautiful trade deadline and everything else therein. Okay, let's keep going. Going. I know we're supposed to be on. Little issue. Had a commitment that cannot be broken that I made, and I should have made mention, and I do apologize. All right. The Braves, as we told you earlier, they did the impossible. They made it possible. They reaped revenge on Major League Baseball for removing the All-Star game and moving it to Denver, Colorado. And here it is. The Braves won the World Series. They blasted the Astros 7-0. That's right. For the first time since '95, the Atlanta Braves are world champions. Braves won the 2021 World Series, defeating the Houston Astros 7-0 in Game 6, take series 4-2. Braves won the title at Houston's Minute Maid Park, were paced by an offensive onslaught and a gem from left-hander Mac Fried, we're going to call it Fried, in the title-clinching win. Atlanta jumped out to a sizable lead thanks to not one but two multi-run homers early in the game. Jorge Soler delivered a massive 3-1 blast. StatCast had Soler's home run traveling 446 feet with an exit velocity of 109 miles per hour. Soler, who was named World Series MVP, entered the game having homered twice as part of a 5-17 start to the Fall Classic. In Game 6, he hit the loudest homer of the postseason. Then in the fifth, the Braves plated a pair of runs on a Dansby Swanson homer. Swanson wasn't quite as impressive as Soler's, but did have an exit velocity of 108.8 miles per hour and carried some 411 feet. Again, according to StatCast, a Freddie Freeman double later in the fifth and a homer in the seventh gave the Braves what proved to be an insurmountable 7-0 lead. And that's how it was. That's right. So the Braves, who we said baseball bent the knee and removed the All-Star game from Atlanta and took it to Denver, got their, I guess you could say, revenge. I would say it. They got their revenge, and their revenge is a big win. Let's get you to the scoreboard, all the scores that we're going to give you, courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook. Remember, we are all Caesars. And the defending world champion Milwaukee Bucks gave it to the Pistons 117-89. Heat over the Mavericks 125-110. Utah Jazz over the Sacramento Kings 119-113. Phoenix Suns over the New Orleans Pelicans 112-100. LA Lakers over the Rockets 119-117. Let's take you now to the NHL. That's right. We go from the NBA to the NHL. I know we got to do the line score, so please forgive us. I forgot the line score, but I will bring it to you as we will wrap things up a bit early. Everything is final, and they're finally putting 3-star selections up. Hooray. Here we go. Philadelphia Flyers beat the Arizona Coyotes by a score of 3-0. Couturier, 1 goal, 1 assist for Philly. Hart for Philly, 29 saves, and Vejamica for Arizona, 31 saves are your 3 stars. Red Wings got blanked in Canada by the Canadiens of Montreal, 3-0, and they're putting the blame on Suzy, who decided he didn't want to get the vaccine. So he'll be doing just the home games. It's obviously a religious thing, which we do not judge. Suzuki for Montreal, 1 goal, 2 assists. Anderson, Montreal, 1 goal. And Allen for Montreal, 22 saves. Thank you. Maple Leafs finally find the win column. They defeated the Golden Knights of Vegas 4-0. Matthews, 2 goals. Campbell, 26 saves. And Mariner, 1 goal and 2 assists, all 3 Toronto. Winnipeg Jets over the Dallas Stars in the shootout, 4-3. Morrissey for Winnipeg, 1 goal. Dubois for Winnipeg, 1 goal. And Seguin for Dallas, 1 goal, 1 assist. In overtime, it was the Minnesota Wild over the Ottawa Senators, 5-4. Kaprizov for Minnesota, 1 goal, 1 assist. Foligno for Minnesota, 2 goals. And Batherson for Ottawa, 1 goal, 1 assist. More scores. Wow. 2 more overtimes to report. Nashville Predators beat the Calgary Flames 3-2. Saros for Nashville, 38 saves. Kachuk for Calgary, 1 goal. And Duchesne for Nashville, 1 goal, 1 assist. Anaheim Mighty Ducks over the New Jersey Devils, 4-0. Terry for Anaheim, 2 goals. Getzlaff for Anaheim, 1 goal, 2 assists. Gibson for Anaheim, 28 saves. And in another overtime, Vancouver Canucks over the New York Rangers, 3-2. Garland for Vancouver, 2 assists. Panarin for the Rangers, 1 goal, 1 assist. Miller for Vancouver, 2 goals. San Jose Sharks over the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 5-3. Hurdle for San Jose, 2 goals, 1 assist. Ferraro for San Jose, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Merkley for San Jose, 1 goal. Let's get you over to the AHL and see the scores. And then the OHL, and we're done with hockey. Then we go to basketball, and then we get around the world of sports, and we do so with style and flair and some drunken skunks. Okay, let's get you the world of hockey. Everything should be a final, and here we go. 1 game for Tuesday, and that game was the Colorado Eagles and the Texas Stars. Colorado beat Texas by a score of 2-1. Tomorrow we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games tomorrow in the AHL. We'll give you those tomorrow. Be Monday. That's right. Okay, let's back to. Okay, no, it was Wednesday. Yes, it was. No, tonight's Wednesday. So, okay, Guelph over Kitchener. By the way, 4-0 was the lone game in the Ontario Hockey League tonight. They got a full slate tomorrow, I hope, and we'll bring it all to you. All right, now let's continue with the wacky headlines. And Jock Peterson, as we're going to call him, for the first time since 95, as you know, the Braves won the World Series. The title also means Jock Peterson gets another World Series ring. Now, if that name is familiar, he won the World Series with the Dodgers last season, and now he has another championship with the Braves. He's the only 9th player in Major League Baseball history to win the World Series in back-to-back years with 2 different teams. That's among players. The other 8 players to win the World Series in consecutive years, as you see my cat leaping on, gone from a camera cat to just a stunt cat. With different teams, the list skews recent given all the increased player movement we see these days. And they are. Oh boy, I better Jake Peavy, 2013 Red Sox, 2014 Giants. Ryan Thoreau, 2011 Cardinals, 2012 Giants. Jack Morris, 91 Twins, 92 Blue Jays. Don Gullett, 76 Reds, 97 Yankees. Moose Skowron, 1962 Yankees, 1963 Dodgers. Clem Labine, 1959 Dodgers, 1960 Pirates, and Ellie Clark, 1957 Yanks, 1948 Cleveland. Now, Peterson did not take a direct route from the Dodgers to the Braves. He did sign with the Cubs as a free agent last season. Then Chicago sent him to Atlanta prior to the trade deadline as part of their fire sale. It was a 1-for-1 trade, Peterson for Bryce Bell, a 23-year-old first baseman who had 205, 351, and 387 in single A in 2021. Atlanta obviously won that trade. In 64 regular season games with the Braves, Peterson authored a 249, 325, and 428 batting line with 7 home runs. His overall postseason numbers weren't great, 9 for 44 in 16 games, though he has several big moments, most notably his game-winning 3-run homer in Game 3 of the National League Division Series against the Brewers. He is also a grade A clubhouse guy who is popular among teammates and keeps things loose. He started wearing a pearl necklace late in the season because, well, why not? Before you knew it, fans at Truist Park followed suit and were wearing pearl necklaces all through the postseason. Peterson's impact transcends his on-field production. His contract, by the way, Peterson will be a free agent again this offseason. His contract includes a $10 million mutual option for 2022, and it seems likely one side will decline that, and depending where he lands, we could see him in the Fall Classic again next season. Okay, let's get to hello. Let's pop that back. Pop that back, guys, because I don't want to be here till 3. If we can make it to 2:45, I'll be happy. Or at least close to it. My hair is a mess. And here we go. Let's get you the first edition of the college football playoff rankings were revealed on Tuesday. We had a disastrous beginning because we were on late, so we decided to scrap it after we were on live, but we decided to scrap it because we had to watch it on the tube. So, who got the list? Who got in it? Who got on it? Well, here we go. And this is going to be interesting. Number 25, Pittsburgh. Number 24, San Diego State. Number 23, Fresno State. 22, Iowa. 21, Wisconsin. 20, Minnesota. 19, North Carolina State. 18, Kentucky. 17, Mississippi State. 16, Ole Miss. 15, BYU. 14, Texas A&M. 13, Auburn. 12th, Baylor. 11th, Oklahoma State. 10th, Notre Dame. 9th, Wake Forest. 8th, Oklahoma. 7th is Michigan. 6th is Cincinnati. 5th and 6th place. They're on the outside looking in. Hit the button. Okay. 4th, Oregon, the Ducks. 3rd, Michigan State Spartans. 2nd, Alabama, and Georgia, number 1. Wow. There you go. Now, Cincinnati at 8-0 with 2 Power 5 wins begins the CFP ranking process outside the top 4, looking in. The Bearcats are hoping to become the first group of 5 team to advance to the playoff, and they started that effort ranked higher than any other such team in the process at number 6. Cincinnati was ranked 7. The time is 2:16. In final CFP rankings last season, the previous high for a group of 5 team. Now, 2 undefeated Power 5 programs, Oklahoma and Wake Forest, are not only on the outside of the playoff field, but below 4 one-loss teams, The Sooners have looked uneven despite their unblemished record, while the Demon Deacons have not faced any significant competition and have played one of the weakest schedules in the nation through their first 8 games. Now, noticeably absent from the CFP rankings are Penn State, which has 2 top 25 wins already this season, and undefeated University of Texas San Antonio of Conference USA. The Roadrunners have wins over Illinois and Memphis and are ranked number 16 in the latest AP Top 25. Now, you got to ask yourself, who got underrated and who's overrated? It's simple. Underrated. University of Texas San Antonio. The Roadrunners are 8-0 and ranked number 16 by the AP and number 18 by the coaches. Why? Their unblemished record for one, but also recognition of a program that deserves at least a small spotlight number. Outside of the road wins at Memphis, there isn't a reason to be impressed by the schedule at all. Meanwhile, the Big Ten West once again gets overrated. Head-to-head results obviously matter since Wisconsin is above Iowa, but should either of those teams or Minnesota even be considered? Nah. Iowa's offensive flaws are irreparable. Wisconsin has 3 losses. Minnesota lost to Bowling Green. These 3 are in, while University of Texas San Antonio, Houston, SMU, Louisiana, and Coastal Carolina aren't. Now, there's no sales job in the world that would make anyone buy that kind of nonsense. So it's almost like the committee is trying to prop up the Big Ten as much as possible in order for one of its powers to find its way in. That's a brief thought. Meanwhile, underrated, number 8, Oklahoma, which I find irreprehensible. And, believe it or not, overrated, Alabama, Nick Saban and company. And that's about it for the first week of the college football playoff rankings. Michigan State will be taking their little spot, little shine. I turned the what's called off because time was all left. Okay, but we'll do it in the morning. Okay, but did you close the door? Yeah, and I unplugged it. You didn't need to unplug it. All you had to do was undo the button because it jams. Well, I didn't know to unplug it. Yeah, all you gotta do is just hit the open thing again. It had changed time. Well, that's because what do you mean it changed time? The time thing, you had to change it. Oh boy. Morning. Time until Saturday, late Saturday, early Sunday. It wouldn't register. Well, that's because of the door. Yeah, but when you do the time, which I did, it said whatever it was a Yeah, but I heard you try to shut the door and the door didn't shut. I'll fix it. Don't you just love these behind-the-scenes things, folks? Okay, we are going to, what do we do here? Let's get some NBA news. The Phoenix Suns, even their record of 3-3 on Tuesday with a 100 win over the Pelicans. It took a 20-point comeback to make it happen. The Suns have been a surprisingly sloppy team so far, but for one night, it was all about Chris Paul, who finished with 14 points, 18 assists, the latter moving him from 5th to 3rd on the all-time assist list, passing Mark Jackson and Steve Nash on the same night. Okay, do we have the for the Braves and Astros? Do we have the line? Now, I'm not talking the betting line. Okay, let's give you the line for Braves Astros. Braves 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and the Stros no runs, 6 hits, no error. Winning pitcher Fried, he's 2-2. Losing pitcher Garcia, he's 1-3. Huzzah. And I mean, Atlanta and the Braves had to overcome a lot of odds, including the incident with the All-Star game being moved from Atlanta to Denver. Okay. Well, the Mets, they continue to search. New York Mets are still seeking a new president of baseball operations and now a new general manager. Well, it's unclear when the Mets will be making a call on which definitely won't factor into the equation is former interim GM Zach Scott. Rather, Scott will no longer be part of the organization, including Andy Martino of Sportsnet New York. Scott, who joined the Mets last winter by way of the Boston Red Sox, took over as acting GM once Jared Porter was fired for having harassed a woman journalist. Scott himself was arrested late in the season on the suspicion that he had driven under the influence following a team fundraising event. He'd been away from the organization on administrative leave since. Now, The Athletic reported last week that it remained possible that Scott would continue forth in a high-ranking role within the Mets front office. Well, he's not. So, who could it be knocking on the Mets door? Maybe Red Sox. Well, the Mets have requested permission to speak to Red Sox Executive Vice President of Baseball Administration and Assistant GM Raquel Ferreira, according to Mass Live. New York is also believed to have interest in Atlanta Braves Assistant GM Ben Sestanovich and St. Louis Cardinals GM Randy Flores. The Mets have been turned down like a bad episode of the Bachelor/Bachelorette by some very high-priced names that didn't want anything to do with the toxic Mets. So there you go. The Cleveland Major League Baseball team, they finally ended a 100-year-old era. That's right. It began removing the Indian scripted logo from Progressive Field scoreboard. Cleveland will use the name Guardians next season and going forward after deeming its previous name insensitive to indigenous people in December 2020. Next season will be Cleveland's first under a new name since 1915. Just 43-foot statues known as the Guardians of Traffic inspired the change. A new Guardian scripted logo will take its predecessor's place atop the Progressive Field scoreboard by opening day. However, while the complete removal of the 80-foot-long scripted logo will take several days, according to the Associated Press, workers began dismantling the eye on Tuesday. Cleveland, which already removed all signage with its previous name, will keep its old scripted logo in storage once the project is finished. Cleveland does plan to unveil its new name and merchandise within the coming weeks, but the rollout took a hit last week. Seems that the Cleveland-based roller derby team, known as the Cleveland Guardians, they filed a lawsuit against the American League franchise in federal court for attempting to copy their name. Christopher Pardo, the roller derby team's lead attorney, said in a statement, quote, "By taking the name Cleveland Guardians overnight, the Indians knowingly and willfully eviscerated the rights of the original owner of that name, the real Cleveland Guardians." Cleveland Major League Baseball team said in a statement it expects to use the Guardians name despite the roller derby team's lawsuit. We'll just have to see about that. Okay, I think we are officially done with the headlines. Let's get you updated on football. And before we do that, let us check and see if we have any media bites to share with anyone. If not, we will move on. Some headlines, and we'll just give you the headlines. The FanDuel folks reportedly are not interested in buying the Athletic. No kidding. And the NBA on TNT opened with a thoughtful tribute to Ernie Johnson Jr.'s son, Michael, including comments from Shaq, Kenny, and Charles. We send our sympathies, our love, and good vibes to the family of Ernie Johnson Jr. upon the loss. Let's see. The National Football League will air a 4-part docuseries on Cam Jordan's community efforts in New Orleans. Meanwhile, the Manning curse will have its biggest test this weekend. Ooh, why is that? Why? Why is that this weekend? What are they supposed to be doing? I have no idea. But we're going to find out, and then we'll get on some international sports, and then we will leave you. Let's see. Are they going to have a Manning cast? Apparently the Manning curse during the Manning cast is truly real. Seems every time a player comes on the Manning cast, that player loses the next game. For example, Kelsey on week 1, lost in week 2. Russ on week 1, lost on week 2. Gronk on week 2, lost in week 3. Stafford on week 3, lost week 4. Brady on week 7, lost in week 8. So there you go. And that's it. That's your media bites. Now, let's get to that fun-loving thing we like to call soccer. And let's get to the games that were on Tuesday. Let's get going. In the Champions League, Group B, Barcelona over Dynamo Kyiv, 1-0. Bayern Munich over Benfica, 5-2. In Group F, Atalanta and Manchester United tied at 2. Villarreal over Young Boys, 2-0. Group C, Wolfsburg over Red Bull Salzburg, 2-1. Lille over Seville, 2-1. Chelsea in Group 8 over Malmo, 1-0. Juventus over Zenit St. Pete, 4-2. In the EFL Trophy League in action, Hartlepool over Everton, 1-0. Brighton and Hove Albion over Northampton Town, 2-1. Plymouth Argyle and Arsenal tied at 1, with Plymouth Argyle winning 5-4 in penalties. Salford City over Leeds United, 3-2. Bolton Wanderers over Rochdale, 3-0. Let's give you the FA Trophy League. Sains Town over Brighton Sea Regent, 1-0. Truro City 1, Cirencester Sound, 0. In the U.S. Major League Soccer, Seattle Sounders, LA Galaxy ended in a tie. Yes, mightily a tie. Okay, we are down to our last segment, and it is a goodie, and we will be ending in about 2 minutes, so let's make this good. In Eurocup basketball, Turk Telekom over Slask Warklaw, 89-73. Morabank Andorra over Hamburg, 97-91. JL Borg over Prometheus, 92-62. Light Cabelas over Trento, 77-61. Partizan over Juventud Badalona by 1, 68-67. Let's get over very quickly to some baseball. South Korea, the playoffs, and the Korean Baseball Organization, Doosan Bears walloped the Kaiwon Heroes by a score of 16-8. Lee Young-ha got the win. He's 6-5. Yong Chan-hyun got the loss. He's 13-6. Let's do at least one. Let's do one international hockey score, and that's in the Finland League. Helsinki over the Pelicans, 5-1. In the Czech Republic, we'll just give you some of them. Mountfield over Trinek, 2-0. Liberec over Ziln, 2-1. Mladi Bolsov over Sparta Prague, 3-2. Kesk Bujovic over Plzeň, 4-3. Olmuk over Vikovic 2-0. Pardubice over Litvinov 4-2. And I think that's all we're going to have time for, unless you want to do Sweden, guys. Okay, do a fast one. Karsam over Barnes 5-2. Djurgården over Farstad 5-3. Obro and Linkopings. Obro beat Linkopings in overtime 3-2. Rogel over Växjö 6-2. Skellefteå over Luleå 5-2. And Frölunda over Timrå 3-1. And folks, that's a wrap. We have gone about 30 seconds over our 45 minutes. And sorry we were on late, but we, of course, have to follow when Fox is off the air with their World Series, and that includes the post show. So there you go. We are done, and we want to thank you very much for putting up with us. And once again, to the lovely Miss Lorena, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday, dear Lorena Creole. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh. That's it for us. Steve the Baxman Baxley here. Harry is back tomorrow to assume his rightful mark, which is our announcer. We are back tomorrow at our regular time, 11:35 in the East, 8:35 p.m. on the Pacific time zone, and we hope you'll be a part of it. Oh, we know we will, and we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow, or at least something to talk about tomorrow. Either way, maybe my lessening of the beard, but we'll find out. Folks, that's it. We've had our fun. It is now time for us to shuffle off to the land of Nod. Until we meet again tomorrow night, 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time, I am Steve the Baxman Baxley, hoping you have a good one. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. Vida Schnitzel, y'all.